Welcome back to another episode of Kishore's podcast after a short break. Today, I want to talk about a topic that might be relevant to many of you. As some of you may know, I have Indian ethnicity and I currently live and work in Germany. Personally, I would describe myself as an introvert person. As an introvert with an Asian background and currently living in Europe, I have had to navigate some challenges to find my voice and assert myself in the workplace. If you are someone who struggles with similar issues, whether due to your personality or cultural background, or even both, then this episode is for you. Today, we are going to talk about how to overcome the barriers that might be holding you back from fully expressing yourself, standing up for your ideas, and positioning yourself either as an expert or as a leader in any global environment. Let's start by understanding the challenge. Growing up in a culture like India's, there's often a strong emphasis on humility, respect for authority, and collective success always over individual achievement. These are some of the deeply ingrained values that can make it difficult to speak up or assert yourself, especially in environments that place a premium on self-promotion and vocal leadership. And now, when you combine this cultural background with an introverted personality, the challenge becomes even more significant. I have personally faced these hurdles moving from India to Germany, where the work culture is more direct and assertive. I found myself at crossroads sometimes. I realized that to survive, and more importantly to thrive in Europe, I had to make a change. Let me share a bit. For a long time, I wasn't outspoken, and I was content to stay in the background, always letting my work speak for itself. But over a period of time, I noticed that while my work was appreciated, I wasn't being seen ready for leadership roles or gaining the visibility that I need with the senior management. I have always believed, and I still believe, in listening more than speaking, and not being the first one to voice an opinion in a group. But it became clear that I needed to step out of my comfort zone if I wanted to be recognized and grow in my career. There is nothing wrong with being the silent person in the room, just as there is no need to be always the loudest voice. You need to find a balance between when to listen and when to voice your thoughts. My first steps were small, but clearly intentional, that really have helped me. For example, I started by preparing my thoughts before every meetings, even writing down some key points that I wanted to make, sometimes even rehearsing them in my mind. I would say it didn't work every time, but when I missed the chance to speak up, I always ensured that I gave my feedback at least in a written format, which was recognized and appreciated eventually. I also made an effort to speak up in smaller group settings before gradually working my way up to larger meetings. Over time, I noticed a shift, not just in how others perceived me, but even in how I perceived myself. Ultimately, it was all about becoming comfortable in my own skin and also adapting to demands where needed. And now, I wanted to share some strategies that work for me and might also work for you too. Number one, take small steps. Start by speaking up in settings where you feel more comfortable. This could be in one-on-one meetings or small team discussions. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. Number two, prepare and rehearse. Before any meeting or presentation, take some time to prepare your thoughts. Write down the key points that you want to make. Rehearse them so you're not caught off guard. Number three, leverage your strengths. As an introvert, you probably have strongest listening skills and the ability to think deeply before speaking. Use these strengths to your advantage by offering thoughtful insights and solutions. Number four, seek feedback. Ask for feedback from trusted colleagues or mentors. They can provide valuable insights into how you are being perceived and where you might need to improve. Number five, build a support network. Connect with mentors or allies who understand your journey and can offer support. Having someone in your corner can make a big difference as you work to assert yourself more. Last but not least, write journals. Build a habit of taking notes, revisiting them, and expressing your thoughts in your mind as words, which can be then shared with the relevant group in a written format. Navigating cultural norms can be challenging, especially when they are so deeply rooted in your upbringing. But it's important to remember that you can honor your cultural values while also adapting to your current environment. For example, you can still be respectful and humble while being assertive and confident. It's about finding the balance that works for you. Building confidence is key in this process. Techniques like visualization, positive affirmations, and regular practice can help you develop the self-assurance that you need here. It's also helpful to remember that everyone feels insecure at times. What matters is how you manage those feelings and push through them. Dear listeners, in conclusion, overcoming the barriers to finding your voice in the workplace, especially as an introvert from a culturally reserved background, is not easy, but it's possible. By taking small intentional steps, leveraging your strengths, building a support network, you can begin asserting yourself more and gaining recognition for the value you bring. Remember, this is a journey and it's okay to take your time. What's important is that you keep moving forward. Your voice matters, and with time and practice, you will find the balance that works best for you. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Kishore's podcast. I hope you find these insights helpful. If you're facing similar challenges, know that you are not alone, and I'm here to support you. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with your friends and colleagues. And if you have a feedback, always leave a comment. Until next time, remember to keep exploring, innovating, and embracing the possibilities.